Boys, how are we doing? How are things, boys, girls, gamers? How are we doing? Hopefully things are going as well. Today, we were gonna do Olympus SMP stuff, but it's not done yet. It's like one more thing I gotta do for it. I've been working on college stuff, so I haven't got to do that. College kind of more important. So yeah, we'll get that done eventually. JO3 SMP tomorrow though, day 1, so you should be there. That's pretty much it. Stuff on that. So instead today, I've written down, and by written I mean, I think I have paper in my room at all. Come on now, college student? No. I've typed down a few stories that came to mind that we're gonna tell, and I may tell more as they come back through my memory, So I have, how many do I have here? Some of these have been told on the internet before. Some really haven't. Some I think I've mentioned in a video, but they weren't specifically about it. So I'll go into more detail. And some of them are really short. So we'll see some stuff. And there's one that just happened recently. It isn't really a story, but it's just a cool fact because I don't think I mentioned it on stream. No, I have. I streamed. No, me and Justin went to watch the Suicide Squad last week, and it was pretty cool. I think I've mentioned that. Nothing else. I did see my old boss. I don't know if I mentioned that, and that was funny. I didn't go talk to the dude because he's working, but like it was funny to see. It's the same mall. Let's see here. If this is not the original plan for the stream, it was not, Justin. It was not. It's gonna be Olympus SMP stuff, but it's not done yet. So, it's college. So that's fun. But it's okay, because this will be a funny clickbaited YouTube video on JO2 bit. So that's fine. So yeah, that's fine. Do I want to tell that story? I'm editing my list just in case I want to tell this one. Yeah, it's alright. It's Twitch. They won't care. I don't care. There's nothing said that's against TOS, probably. No, there's not. Could tell that story. Could not. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a short one, but a good one that I don't think I've told on the internet. That's a good one. There's just a couple more popping in my head. So my re-edited list so far has 4 stories, and I'm sure I'll tell more. I'm just trying to think back to middle school and high school. This one's sort of depressing, but it's fine. It's not really that depressing, to be honest. That's a very short but fun one. That's it. I definitely didn't write this list like originally 5 minutes ago. Definitely not. Alright, we'll stick to those 5 for now. So, some stuff to take note of. These are all real. I may slightly exaggerate them, but these all did happen. They don't all specifically, involve me to a huge extent. But I witnessed them at the very least. So, let me go ahead and switch. Oh, I'm still on soon. My bad. Shit, I didn't know I didn't switch. Oh, this is still Pokemon status. Hold on. Pokemon status. I'm really close. Hello. That's why it's so scrunched in. It's still on the hurt gold filters. Oh well, that's fine. You can still see me. Alright. Okay. Sorry, I'm hailing something in the DMs. That'll be it. Not involving today, but involving future, possibly. Cool. So let's start with the first story. I got it down on a list on my second monitor here, so if I look over, that's why. I'm actually gonna drag it to my main monitor, because Streamlabs... Oh, what the fuck? Go away, Office Suite. Sweet. Only perk of being a college student. Alright. Story time, boys. So we're gonna start... Is this chronological? This is chronological, I'm pretty sure. Sick! I didn't even plan on doing that. I think. No, that one would be first, so we'll tell that one first. So boys, let's get the slightly sad one out of the way. So, 6th grade. We're going to go chronologically with these 5 stories I've written down. You know, it's a terrible time for a lot of people. No, I didn't mean to mute that. I just meant to turn it down a little bit. Whoops. 6th grade. Terrible time for a lot of people. Your boy was no different. Up until 6th grade, believe it or not, and I understand if you didn't, your boy was kind of in shape. I was like one of the few like kids in elementary school that just wore nothing but shorts and like loose t-shirts and just ran all the time. It was like me and the two other kids. We're like the 3 fastest in the school, probably, or close to it. And then 5th grade, you know, I started to put on a couple pounds, but it really hit in 6th grade. It really hit in middle school. But that's fine. So besides that, you know, your boy had like 2 groups of friends. We had the middle school friends, people I met in middle school that were pretty chill. Now we had the elementary school friend group, which I don't think I talk to really many of them now. I think I speak to 1 or 2, frequently at least. So, you know, it is what it is. So, you know, your boy was trying to, you know, be chill with a couple more people. You know, you always want to branch out, you know, meet new people when it's a new school, first year. So there's a new student that came in after the year had already started. We're gonna call him, I didn't actually think of a name. Let's see, what names have I used? I've used Chris, Jack, used a bunch of basic names. We're gonna call him... I'm trying to think of a name that would... We're gonna call him like Aaron, because it starts with an A, and his name starts with an A. Justin, if you're still in chat, you might know who it is as I talk more. So basically, you know, it was his first day. Nobody really talked to him. So, you know. Hello, Justin. Yeah, hello. So Aaron here was pretty chill, to me at least. He seemed pretty chill. So at the end of the day, I went up to him, we had lockers on it, and said, hey, yeah, if you want to talk tomorrow or whatever, if you need somebody to talk to, I got you. So the next day rolls around, and he's in like 2 classes I have, and then obviously we had lunch. So he's in my homeroom, first period of the day, middle school, you know. We talked for a little bit. He has like we talked like a year or 2 after this, I think freshman year actually, so yeah, about 3 years. And his memory of this story is very different than what actually happened. It's actually the opposite, but it doesn't really change anything. So first day rolls around, I get to class first. Because my locker was right next to my first period, so like, you know, I didn't have to walk very far after getting there. He walks in, you know, he waves, I wave back. He doesn't I think all the desks around me were full because I had a lot of the boys in the homeroom. But he sat semi-close, and then we started talking like at lunch. I found out he's also interested in soccer. He actually plays soccer. I still played soccer at the time. He was on a different team, but still, it was pretty fun to talk about. So for a couple of days, like a week, we just talked about soccer and a couple other stuff. Found out he's interested in YouTube. I was doing YouTube at the time, not really. It's just, you know, the Great Goten Saga that I'll eventually make a video on, I'm sure. That whole like 5-year span. You know, that was a thing. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. You could do it. So the next week, I don't see him once, like at lunch. I saw him in homeroom office. I see him in the class I had. Turns out like the most popular, I'd say, group of people from our grade, you know, invited him over, and that's cool. I don't care. You know, as long as we're still chill. I didn't speak to him again the rest of the year. So I only spoke to him a few times after that. We weren't really friends after that, but he was still chill. I didn't have an issue with him. He had a pretty good YouTube channel. He wanted to buy my it's an HD60, my old web capture card that when it actually worked and wasn't bad compared to like all the newer capture cards. It was like the most recent at the time. This was what, 7 years ago now, give or take. Yeah. So you know, it was pretty dope. I didn't sell it to him. Wasn't allowed. You know, I was like middle school. Had to ask the parents, and they're like, no, so I couldn't. But you know, I don't have issues with the dude. He usually was gone for like a little bit at the end of each year because he took a trip home or something like that. But I mean, I don't have issues with the kid. I just never really spoke to him again. That's what I titled being friends with a popular kid. So that was fun. Let's go next chronologically. I think would be the 7th grade story. This one's fun. So it's science class. What happens around 7th grade science? Dissecting a frog. If that grosses you out, my bad. But yeah, so we were planning on doing that. It was like going to be a whole week thing. It's going to be a day where we're like, okay, this is everything we're going to do. We're going to split you up into smaller groups. There's like 6 groups. The teacher. Mind you, I was in the friend group, the Yees. They refer to those 2 videos on the YouTube channel, the JO3 channel, if you're unfamiliar. And basically, I wasn't in a group with this dude, but he was a friend of mine. I was our group did everything, you know. Yeah, when it came to the day, you know, we did it. He did it too, but I don't know what. I think he got into an argument with a teacher or got bet to do it or something. One of them took said frog, yeeted it up to threw it up to the roof, and it stuck. The teacher was pissed, and I think class had just ended or something because I got the hell out of there before I heard screaming behind me. Oh, it was great. And that teacher then hated the entire friend group pretty much, except me, because I was kind of like in the friend group, but not really at that point. I sat with them at lunch, we talked and everything, but he didn't know. He hated them, but I was just kind of the one that just did shit and moved on with my day, like the shit for the class, so he never really hated me. But he hated the rest of them for the rest of the time we were there, that year and 8th grade. It was great. Turns out he became a jackass after that to everyone, so I mean, whatever. Next chronologically would be that one, I think. Or was that year? There's 2, and I think they took place. No, okay, yeah, that took place after. Yeah, okay. So the next one was no, that took place before. That was the summer, and then that one was the following school year. Yeah, okay. So the next one, I've talked about a little bit. Not this part, but the event itself. In the Yeez video, there's a couple of those. Refer to those if you will. So, for this one. There's some context here. So every year, for like the last like 2 years up until that point, I think this would have been the 3rd one, maybe the 4th. For my birthday, instead of having a normal birthday party, started in like I think it was 7th grade. I think it was the last time I had a traditional birthday party as a kid. You know how it be. I think I had it that year, and then we got a room. We basically got a room. We got adjoining rooms, so you know we had a parental guardian in the one room, then all the boys in the other. So we could just dig around for a night. So things start well. I was gonna invite like the closer boys of the group. Then there was C and D, if you refer to the E videos, who were like, they joined after the group sort of became a thing and had a name and all that fun shit. I didn't really mess with them, so I'll be honest, I wasn't gonna invite them. Then somebody told them, so I had to. So there was one, two, I think like 8 dudes in one room, or 7, maybe 7. 7. Because he couldn't show up. Yeah, 7. So there's 7 dudes in one room with 2 beds. They had to wheel in like an extra bed, and then there was a couch, and then like a chair. It was a bit tough. Half of us didn't really sleep anyway, but yeah. So things started well. You know, I made sure to bring the Xbox at the time. I think it was, I don't know if it was the original Xbox One or the S by that point. I think it was the S. I think the S came out the year before and I got it by then. I think so. The Xbox One S. So I brought that. I told them they could bring each to bring a controller if they can, and if they want to bring a game, they can. So we did, and things went pretty well until about probably 8 or 9 at night. You know, when it got to nighttime after we'd been to the pool and it was closed, so we were kind of stuck in the room. There was a bit of a fight that happened. This is the first of 2. Maybe this was a bit earlier. And it was a fight between me and a few other people. It was sort of just like a brawl that it was meant to be just dicking around, you know. And then somebody landed an actual punch, and or was it like an elbow? It may have been like an elbow. It was a strike to your boy's face. So I pinned them up against the wall and was like ready to punch them back, and then I was pulled off of them. Good times. Well, I wasn't really pulled off them. There's like one dude trying to pull me off, and I just let them off from being held against the wall. Because you know, when you get any dude, you get the fight or flight response. You get punched in the face, even by an accident, you're gonna be pissed until you calm down, you know, a few seconds later. So that's what happened. There was many fights almost on the daily before this, not always physical. So that was fun. I apologized to the dude a lot after. That's not something that happened very often in this friend group, people apologizing. Only a few of us ever did for things that we fucked up on, which comes into play later. It's sort of like 2 stories in one, but it's the same night, so that's fine. So, pretty much, it wasn't the same dude. Later in the night, I don't know how we started arguing about this, but at the time, my sister had been born the previous year, I want to say. The previous, the previous year. And was like, not even 1 yet. So, you know, I was a bit overprotective, and you could say that, and I could, you know, agree with that. But this is kind of shit. So my mom, she smokes. I don't agree with it. I've always told her, like, I don't agree with that, but I can't really stop her. She doesn't ever smoke inside, or like if she has anybody in her car with her, she goes outside, or doesn't, you know, just doesn't, which I can respect. I still wish she wouldn't at all, but what am I gonna do? It's not illegal. That's their choice. I'll never agree with it, but you know. So obviously my sister, who's not even 1 at this point, was in the room with my mom. She had the other room, so I don't know how we started arguing about something. I don't know how we got to this, but one of the people there, what did I call him in the E video? I don't know what I called him in the E video. Probably, was he? No, Jack was my coworker who was shit. Whatever, we'll call him Jack again. Assholes can be named Jack, sure. They're in these story times. Sorry, anyone named Jack, Manifold, or whoever else named Jack. That's just the first one that comes to mind when I'm thinking about Twitch and streaming. So Jack makes a joke. This Twitch, don't yell at me. I'm just rephrasing the joke. Pretty much, he wished A disease of the lung that ends with a C, ends with an answer. But not spelled like answer. You know what I mean. Upon my sister. What did I do? Get pissed. Went to punch the motherfucker. Because I was pissed. But I did it so fast, it was just a slap. I didn't give myself time to, like, change my, you know, because my hand was at my side. Just open. So it just turned into a slap. And it hit his back because I wasn't aiming, like, very much. I was just... Your boy saw red, and I'll admit that was wrong. Was it wrong for him to make the joke? Hell yes, and I stand by that. But was it right to, you know, do that? No. I would never do it again. Just for a joke like that. So that led to an argument. I apologized. He didn't. And then later in the night, it was right. I don't know. Later in the night, dude goes into the restroom, which, you know, normally, you know, it is what it is. Comes out later, like after doing his business. So, you know, things are chill for like 10 minutes. Then the dude just says he got off in the bathroom to make himself calm down. So the dude did his business, you know, that business, in a bathroom right next to a group of dudes, which, you know, is a bit sus, you know. And a bit disgusting. So, you know. It's a bit, how many? None. No. Okay. None. So yeah, that happened. Everyone was disgusted with the dude. Shortly after that, we were no longer friends, so I don't know. He's a jackass. That's all I'll say. So moving on chronologically, we have 2 more I've written down, then I'm sure I'll think of some more. So this one didn't really directly involve me until, like, afterwards, I'd say. This was sophomore year. Just a random day. Basically, I don't know what was going on. I had moved, because obviously I wasn't part of that group anymore, and that group was big enough to take up a whole lunch table, pretty much. So I moved, obviously. I talked with some of the boys. We sat like a table, like a row over, and then like a few tables left. So we were like on the last table of, like, because, you know, cafeterias usually are, you got the lines of tables and shit, at least before COVID. I don't know now, but so we sat there. So they're like a row over. So our row would have been like here. This would have been their row, and then they were like a few tables down. So sometimes we'd overhear stuff, but it wasn't our business. We did our own thing. That table, they like expanded that group to like double the size, and there was somebody who sat like a table next to them. I guess according to them, he was talking shit, but they had I think he was a freshman who, this may have been junior year. No, this was I can't remember. No, this was sophomore year, because this was sophomore year. So the dude would have been a freshman. And I guess this other dude, who was like a twin, he was kind of, I guess, supposedly talking shit. So this dude, seeing the right solution, trips the dude up and starts wailing on him on the ground. The dude who was supposedly talking shit. So it's, I think his cousin and his twin or something like that. I think that was their relations. You know, got up and teachers quickly pulled the dude off. That was like one of multiple times that stupid fucking idiot got into a fight for no reason. So like our school, they allow you to like sit out in the hallway at like the end of lunch in case you want to, you know, get to classes slightly quicker. Sometimes they'll let you go early. Because it's like a little hallway down to a cafeteria, pretty much. And, like, they let you go to the library to work on stuff during lunch, which is right next to it. So they let you go up to there, if you want to. If you, like, eat or whatever. So usually we go out there about 3 to 4 minutes before they dismiss, just because I like to be able to get to class on time. So the twins are there. The dude was fine, and the cousin was there. I started talking with him. And pretty much, you don't know why. He didn't know why. I found out, apparently, they were accidentally, like, not throwing like something, but like slide it back and forth because you know the tables are pretty slick. You can slide stuff back and forth, and it accidentally slid over and hit the dude. That was their side of the story, at least. So because of that, he tripped the dude and wailed on him. This group is so toxic. That was both sides of the story that I got. Well, either one, he was either talking shit or that accidentally happened, and I guess they got pissy, and the dude defended himself, and then he got pretty much attacked. So that was fun. These are just great stories from high school and middle school so far. One more. This one's just fun. We're gonna end on like the ones I have down. Yeah. We're gonna end at least the ones I've written down. I'm sure I'll think of a few more that I haven't told or that I could retell in better detail. So this one's pretty simple. I worked in a mall at the time. There's a theater in the mall. We had a trip to go watch a movie in the mall. This one's very lighthearted, very short. So I did a funny, because I worked there, and I had a check waiting for me for when the next time I got into work. I wasn't scheduled for that day. So I just kind of walked in the back, said what's up to the manager, and said, yeah, I'm here on a school trip. He asked if I didn't have scores on. I said, no, I'm just here on a school trip. I just want my check. It was pretty funny. Walked out. I was like, yeah, I just got my check. Just told it to the teacher. That was pretty funny. That was a short, lighthearted one. Move on from that. Let's see. What other stories could I tell in better detail? I have a whole story times playlist over on YouTube, but like some of them could be redone, especially the ones that I uploaded back on the Appalachian Adventures YouTube channel. Because I wasn't as good of a creator back then. So that's sort of you know. So with that, I would say I could tell the most infamous story from your boy's past, I would say. Which would be the That's Tough story. I could tell that in greater detail for a second time. It's actually like a fourth time. And tell the whole saga with that. Problem is, I can't say the starts with an S, ends with an imp word on this platform anymore. So if I tell that, you know, it's going to be a bit difficult. But I'm going to do it anyway. Really mind. No, I'm going to do it anyway. Who gives a shit? Bruh, if bigger streamers I watch continue to say simp all the time, clearly people aren't taking it seriously. And if I got banned for saying simp, I would not care. I don't think there's been a single person banned for it since Minx before the rule even got put into effect. So, I don't care. I could care less. I'm here to have fun and tell funny stories today. So, I know this was like January, February time, I believe. Would have been sophomore? No. Junior year. Which was almost 2 years ago now. God damn. At least like this part of junior year. Shit, I'm old. So there was, you know, chick, found it pretty attractive. Talked a couple times, but nothing really came of it. I said, whatever. So one day, I got the idea. There was a trend going around of people just being, like, depressed about their crushes or whatever. So I said, yeah, let's do a funny TikTok. It's pretty funny. And then I threw it on my Instagram because it was pretty funny. Then, you know, good friend and adequately named egotistical rival Harpo over my Pokemon Heart Gold run said, hey, I'm gonna at the chick because my Instagram was public at the time. I think it still is now, but it goes off and on from being private or public, my personal Instagram at least. So, he asked the chick. She posted on, I think like her spam. I guess we had talked a few times. I was following the spam. So I made a cheeky comment, and that should have been the end of it, right? No. She seemed to have taken it well. It was pretty funny. Then the post goes down. Harpo notices that and tells me, because we were in an Xbox party at the time. I didn't have a PC, like, at least the setup I do now, so we used Xbox parties still instead of Discord. Because we just played console mostly. Still back in the Siege days, you know. So, the night, I think it was like a Friday it started. So, what was the cheeky comment? Oh, yeah, that's actually important. So, she posted, like, she took like a screenshot or two. I think the screenshot of the video, and then a screenshot of the comments of my post. Put it up, but like blurred out my at and everything. And said that's tough, spelled TUFF. That was the caption. And then so I responded, yeah, it really was. Like just being down, you know, acting like I'm depressed about it. But then I also threw in a few smiley faces, like the emoji smiley face, not the creepy one. Like you know, the smiley. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I tried to make it apparent that it wasn't meant to be serious, right? So the post goes down like I think like the Sunday after, and somebody who wasn't. I'll get to that. He puts like a chain of comments on my post because it was still up. I never took it down. I don't think I've taken it down to this day. I think it's still up. I'll have to check that. Hold on, I'm curious. Let me check. Well, that's a DM I should answer. Hold on 1 second. Alright. Oh, that's tragic. Respond to a DM yet. Real quick. Hold on. Needs that? Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Gotta do something. This is important. You'll understand if you follow Twitter in like a day or two. Okay, we'll do that one. Don't mind me just linking my socials to somebody. Keep this tab muted. Alright. Just go. No, not that one, you dumb motherfucker. There we go. And there we go. Those are all the socials that I use right now. Pretty much. Sick. Oh god, caps lock. So basically, I'll continue the story while I do this, so I don't keep you waiting. Basically, he comes in my comments, starts talking a bunch of shit, acting like I should take down the video because it's creepy when it's a TikTok trend. It was a TikTok trend. I know Instagram is still a month behind of Reels. Like they're just now getting to LeBron action figures. You know that whole thing. If you use TikTok, it's like a month old now at this point. And so, you know, I respond I'm like, hey dude, it's just a simple video, nothing meant by it. This guy is Simp, that's what we're gonna call him here. So you know, my boy Harpo, we're in a voice that we get into a Xbox call. I'm like, yeah, this dude's just commenting, it's pretty funny. So he decides to, you know, get in a little argument with him in the comments. Eventually, you know, it's funny. I didn't mention anyone by name. I blurred out everything better than the chick did because I know how to edit photos. And I made a video about it. All I showed was the original post. I didn't even show like the Instagram one. I just downloaded the TikTok and threw it into the video. You can go back and watch it. It's still public, I think. Yeah, it is. So like, whatever. Then it was like a day. This was like a week after it happened, because I wanted to wait for like any supposed drama to die down, because he ended his message saying I'll see you at school or some shit like that. I want to pull up the DMs just to make sure I don't get any of this inaccurate. So that's why I was looking. I'm not gonna show them. I just want to make sure I'm not spreading misinformation, because that's a shit thing to do. Alright, send that DM over to that dude. Cool. Let me go check this now. Instagram.com. Am I signed in on Instagram? I am. It's really bright. I apologize. Instagram doesn't have a dark mode, you know, on PC. At least that I found. But I don't use Instagram much anymore. It doesn't have a dark mode. Can I turn that on? No, not professional account. I don't give a shit about professional account. Not for this one. No, I don't see an option for it. Fuck off. Okay, so DMs is gonna be over here. 68 weeks ago. Crazy, man. Oh no, this was like... Okay, yeah. Okay. So, I was on track. So, pretty much, this was... He DM'd me on March 22nd, which is about 2 weeks after the video went up, so maybe early March. Maybe, because it was like... I think it happened in like probably early to mid-February, and I waited a couple weeks just to do a funny story time. I didn't mention him at all by name. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize this so it's less just like taxing on the eyes. That's not what I said to do. Minimize. Just so it's less taxing on the eyes. You know how it be. I don't need that big of a... There we go. So, pretty much... He said, basically said he's not trying to cause more beef. And by this point, he had been with her. He wasn't with her when he originally defended her. He was white knighting, which was funny. Then I basically just said, hey, it's a story time. Talking about what happened. Because there was legitimate people who requested a story time. I was like, yeah, I'll do it, but I won't mention anyone by name. I won't really show much. So, here's the funny one. Alright, here's the real funny one. Pretty much, he basically said he just wants the video removed. We talked about him and apparently bashed him, but I didn't really bash him that much. And this is the quote I want to say. You have to understand that I wasn't being a white knight or simp. We started dating the day after we got in the beef. He defended her, then they got together the next day. It's so funny. So of course he was trying to get in her pants. We literally said that in the comments, just because he's trying to get in her pants, bro. It's so funny. That's still funny. I also have a running theory, pretty much, that he had her remove the post and forced me to unfollow her spam because it was I think they made it private or whatever. And eventually I got blocked on both her accounts. Pretty funny. But it was 2 months later. I don't know why. But I don't know. That's the running theory, because didn't seem to have an issue with the funny video till after he got involved. But that's just a theory. A drama theory. So, you know. And of course, at the end of this message, she says he wants to settle like men. The best way to do that is remove the video. That's what she wants. But she didn't come to me. He did. I don't know. I won't get too much into the details. Pretty much in May, apparently he got upset because we made another video the week after the first video, and it was just ripping something from stream pretty much and cutting it down a little bit. Because it was pretty much just Harpo's side, because he was sort of involved in that too. By adding the chick and sort of getting into an argument with this dude. So eventually he went over to hit Harpo's DMs. I can't pull up those to make sure I get those right, so I won't talk about too much. Right. Okay. So here, this next conversation goes. Apparently, this is according to him. He says that my little friend texted her the other day something about pictures of her, and he didn't get pictures of her. The fun fact is, the year like after I'd stopped talking to the chick, he tried to get with her before this happened, which I find to be funny. Like earlier in sophomore year, and then he just didn't because he cusses too much. That was his big turn off with that. The dude, as far as I'm aware, never got any pictures. I hope not, because that's illegal, and he's against that, as he's stated that multiple times, so that's probably another fucking lie to guilt trip my ass. Didn't work. But I was in a party with Harpo, and he said to send him his way, so I can't say any more after that. That was pretty much it. And of course, someone is fucking mowing. Bruh. How are you mowing at 8 p.m., bruh? Whatever. So that's pretty much that little situation, that little story. That was fun to retell. And like, you know, with hindsight being on that situation, that was fun. It became way more than it ever should have. But, you know. It is what it is. Well, that's pretty much like it on that story. If they there was like something that happened after that, but like it is what it is. It wasn't really anything serious. I did it was pretty funny walking by them in the hallway every day after that for like a solid month and a half till I found a quicker route to my next class. That was pretty funny. I never did anything, you know. I was minding my own business, but of course they stared every single day. Very funny, or most days, not every day, but that was pretty funny. That was a fun situation. I don't think there's many other stories I haven't told. Really, I've told a lot of my good stories already on YouTube. And all these will probably be turned into videos or like a collage of videos. I don't know, a couple of them, not all of them. The shorter ones I won't turn into videos, but the longer ones I might. But that's pretty much it for my good stories, at least. So, I mean, that was pretty fun. That was a fun little stream, you know, of stories and stuff. I'm trying to think if I have any, like, outside of high school and middle school that could be fun. Not really from that time period. There was one from the elementary school days that I still remember because it almost got me in actual shit. And it wasn't even my fault. It was a different dude's fault. So this was like a year long. This one was fancy. This is a fancy, like, long story, sort of. So, you know, as a very young child, I was made to do soccer and scouts. I never moved up to Boy Scouts, but I did Cub Scouts throughout elementary school. And then I was given the option, do I want to keep doing this? And I really didn't, because I knew it was either that or soccer, and I preferred soccer out of the two. I enjoy soccer. I still do. I just would never play it like, you know, I wouldn't play it on an actual team. I just play it if like some of the boys want to get together and do just kick around a soccer ball. You know, that's pretty chill. The place I used to play soccer for clearly doesn't care about soccer either. They're really just waiting to get rid of it. They've slowly given it less and less support over the years since then. So go figure. Fuck that place. But that's not the story here. That was just that's the context needs that I was in Scouts. And I was in Scouts with these two people. One of them happened to be like the kid of our like Scout Master, I guess is what their title would be. I don't remember exactly. Both of his parents were there. They ran like the troop or whatever. Till like my last year. Then it started to be a couple other people started to take a role and eventually took over for them. So there would be things that happen, because this would have been 5th grade, and by then I already knew I was done. So there was some stuff, you know, they did, because they were still going to advance in Scouts, as far as I was aware. Both of them are planning to. I already knew I was done after that year. So, they'd go on trips and stuff. They were close friends. And one of them, I was close friends with both of them too. But one of them basically just went back and forth saying that we were talking shit to each other. That I called him a douchebag, which was a sin, pretty much a sin in 5th grade. You know, calling somebody a douchebag. Oh no. Then he called me like, I don't think it was fat prick, but I want to say fat prick because it's funny. Because this is 5th grade, you know, I was packing on a couple pounds, but I wasn't like fully really out of shape yet. You could just say I wasn't like a skinny fucking twig. Never really was, but like it's actually skinny, you know. I'm like what Harper defines as himself now as skinny, but not really skinny. You're like, you're not fat, but you're not skinny. You know what I mean? Like you got a bit of you know, weight on you. I guess is the nicest way to put it. So you know, it is what it is, and that just continued for like 6 months, I want to say, of just a school year. We didn't talk for a while. Eventually, it came down to his parents writing a letter to my teacher, I guess, or maybe to the school, and it just came to my teacher. So I got in trouble for that. Later, I found out by kindling my friendship with the dude. I was still friends with the other one because I didn't really know. It was just him going back and forth. That started it pretty much. Maybe the other dude said something at first, and it just kept escalating. That could have happened, but like, knowing this dude, you know, drama's fun to them. So I don't know. Pretty much, like, I found out probably like a year or two later that like, hey, yeah, no, he was just basically talking shit for us to each other, and we just believed it because we trusted him. He's a good friend of both of us. But now we're chill. But that happened for like a year, and I almost got in trouble for that. Luckily, that I probably would have gotten bigger trouble if it was the previous principal, who I still hate to this day and still hates me to this day. And he's in a higher position, and I see him semi-often, and I just ignore everything about him. And still hate him to this day. Most people liked him. He hated me, and I hated him. You can get into that story. You like the previous principal? A lot of people liked him. I did. So, this is like multiple small stories looped into one. So it started literally my first year at the school, which would have been kindergarten. Pre-K, I was at a different place, obviously. Then I went there for kindergarten. They didn't have pre-K until the year after I was in pre-K, I think, or maybe the year after that. So I started in kindergarten, you know, pretty chill. I've always been like a quiet dude. I'm a person that is like opens up the more I know the people I'm talking to. So if you ever see me in public and I'm awkward as hell, might be why. If you ever like, you know, anything like that. So that's probably why people think I'm just like some depressed fucking quiet kid. Stereotypical quiet kid. Some people do. Or some people, because my resting face is just this. So people think I'm just always upset. I'm really not. I'm just either tired or don't want to be at school. Or both. Like, or wherever I am. Usually I'm pretty chill. I'm not like ever usually in a bad mood. It's just my face, bro. But pretty much because I was a quieter kid, especially in kindergarten. I was always a shy kid. I'm willing to admit that. Probably because I didn't get out enough as a child. Still really don't, but you know, it's a different story. Different scenario, different situation. I kind of just stayed home and played on the Wii with the fam, or played like with my Legos or something at the time. Maybe I'd gotten a DS by that point, but I don't know. Justin gets out enough right now. Yeah, seems pretty chill, to be fair. I appreciate it. I'm just somebody who's like, who opens up the more I know person, you know. But essentially, I think it was like the end of kindergarten. Because I was with the one teacher who was getting ready to retire in like a year or two. So they had an assistant teacher who was going to take over when they retired. So I was pretty chill with the assistant teacher, while everyone else is chill with the main teacher. So because of that, they thought I was slow. And while I might be slow, I'm not that type of slow. I'm just stupid. So the principal specifically. So he came to the teacher. He came to my parent, like my main parent that would have taken me, that was like involved with school stuff, which would have been my mom at the time. and basically said, hey, if he cannot count to 100 and say his ABCs to us, we're holding him back. And this is kindergarten. You know, when you're doing those things, you know, in kindergarten, you're still learning to sort of develop your day-to-day speaking. You're getting tested on how to spell things like they, or we, or can, or two, or two, or two. So like, that's fucked up. So I did it. They were shocked for some reason, and I went on to first grade. But that was the first of many stories with this principal. I think first grade went by pretty chill. Second grade, it was my best year at that school. Third grade was a different story. So Spankers are probably like JO3. Fair. So basically, one day, not the song by Wilbur Soot for all the Minecraft people. You know, back when I streamed Minecraft, they're watching this. You know, an actual one day. Pretty much, I think we had scheduled, me and my mom, they go to my teacher's room early, which they allowed that normally. Because we sat, you know, until I think like 8 or maybe it was 7:45. They had all the kids sit in the bleachers, and so the teachers can, you know, get their rooms ready and stuff. And then at like 7:45 or 8, you'd go to your first teacher, or your only teacher, depending on your grade, or your main teacher, or whatever, because it's elementary school. So, hi Ludwig. Xbox just started playing the Ludwig video because it signed me out of YouTube. I noticed. That's cool. So where was I? Oh yeah. So I was going up. We were walking up because you go. So the way the gym's laid out, you go into the gym. It's the door between the two sides of bleachers. You pretty much walk through. Then on the far side of the gym were 2 doors on the sides. Those led up to the main part of the building. Then there's also the doors to the cafeteria and then the stage. We go to walk up, I think, like to the left one. And as we're getting to the door, the gym teacher, mind you, who got fired and has been in multiple scandals since. But I was chill with, like, normally. This is the one time we were, not. Pretty much, he comes over, says, hey, you're not allowed to do that. And we're like, hey, well, we have a meeting with it. We gotta, I gotta extend it for the YouTube video. He comes over, and we, gets into a little squabble between him and my mom. They're like, hey, we literally planned this, like, last week, dude. Let us go speak to the goddamn teacher. Then the principal comes over because the fucking asshole hated my parents, really, but my dad never got involved in this whole school thing too often. And hated my entire family, pretty much. I don't know if it was because my cousins went there or not, but whatever. So he comes over, is like, you either need to leave now, or I'm gonna call the cops, because we didn't have a resource officer. That's how much this dude just hated my family, because we wanted to go speak to a teacher. So my mom sent me back to just go sit in the bleachers. They argued for like another 5 minutes. Another teacher or staff member came over. Eventually she just left. But the whole thing was just fucking stupid. Then 4th grade, we had a couple just tiny squabbles whenever I saw him. But overall, it's alright. There's a couple other things that happened, but not really with me directly. It was just between my parents and him. So I don't know too much about those. But overall, pretty much he tried to hold me back because I was quiet. And then didn't let me speak to a teacher when we had planned it the week prior. And just threatened to call the cops just because my parent and I wanted to go speak to a teacher. There was, like I said, those are the 2 big ones. Then the year after that, my 5th grade year would have been the year after. His 4th grade year would have been his last. Then he got called up to be like an administrator under the Board of Education for our county. I think he handles like the sort of construction type stuff with it and like shit like that and property and all that. So there's that story. It's something. Something, that's all I can really say. that was the whole story. You know, that's all I really got with that. Those are all my big stories. I know it's a bit of a shorter stream. Tomorrow, I'm streaming Minecraft for the first time in a month because my fucking SMP, it's gonna be dead within a week, goes live tomorrow for the second time after a reset. So, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and get off because I got college work to do still because, you know, procrastination and all that, and I just have a lot. Maybe I hate to tell you, can't be there. All good. Who do we have? Is there anyone on to raid? No one on my list. So, oh, it's September. I forgot. That's cool. We could raid. Nah, I got no one. Okay, we're just gonna yeah. Go ahead and get on out of here. I can't speak. So, thank you guys for coming out. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow maybe or whenever. Got a quick second. I'm going to the thing for club and party, and then going to be a soccer game with the girl. You know, all good, Justin. All good. No worries. It's a Minecraft server. It's not as important as going out with a chick and going to all those other things. Those are more important. My college switched to fully online and already canceled everything fun anyway. So one day we'll get your boy will have fun at college and actually enjoy it. Maybe. And get what he paid for. But anyways, I'm gonna get on out of here. Thank you guys for coming out.